The idea behind the title, The Uninvisible Project, is that I wanted to unearth their stories and shed light on their stories and make them visible. A lot of the participants in this project, they're kind of shy, and some of them weren't necessarily ready to share their stories. Many of them were, though. So what I did is just tried to make them feel as comfortable as possible. There's quite a range of story topics. Some people chose to share their favorite plants or their favorite foods or a food that their grandmother made for them. They chose something that isn't so emotionally charged necessarily, whereas other people really wanted to dive in and deal with their trauma, face their trauma, and share those very tragic stories. So it is wide-ranging, and when you view the show, you see how sometimes it's, a little boy he drew a picture of his bike, he loves his bike, whereas someone else is sharing things that they made in Cambodia. Like one woman, she made hats out of palm leaves, and she had to deliberately not make them too beautiful or the Khmer Rouge would kill her. So she would deliberately put in a flaw or make it look a little messy.
Some of our community art makers, they vary from 6 to 98 years old. Obviously, the older ones have gone through the Khmer Rouge genocide and mass killing. We want to make sure that their story is also heard, so they could either talk about their refugee experience, perhaps their personal loss. It's a way for them to use the arts as a way to share or to talk about their personal challenges, and also perhaps reflecting on what they haven't shared yet. And definitely this is a small step into healing, and the important thing is to be able to make something that's a starting point for an individual that has gone through that type of complex trauma to be able to address their issue.
So I made 2 pieces. One piece is a tribute to my grandmother who passed away this year in March. It's a tribute of my childhood, of her taking me to the temple. I would always see her in this shirt that's made out of specific material, which you can see here. I embellished it into the piece. And of course with the incense and her praying. It's a big image I have in my head of my childhood when we go to the temple a lot. So a tribute to her, and then the second piece I made is for my mother. I don't really know her mother that well, and that's why I left her face blank. And I feel like it's also fitting for the Uninvisible project. But yeah, these 2 pieces are significant matriarchs in my life, and that's what I made a tribute to.
This painting comes about dreaming about mom. And in my mind, I always want this image in painting. And this is about more than 20 years ago, but it's still stuck in my mind. This is the water, and that's the sky, and that's the moon at night. And of course, I'm trying to create a glistening of water that I didn't do, but that's supposed to be the glistening of the water. And then mom's supposed to be floating, sitting on top of the water, and the seating, she's sitting on the naga wrapper that had rested on her like this. The little naga swam toward her, and the message in that dream was supposed to be they're protecting her.
My art project was in honor of my late grandmother, and her business in cosmetology and her nail shop that she ran and purchased when she came here from Cambodia. On the nails, I basically did everything that I thought was symbolized my grandmother. I kind of did the different skin colors so that hers is a darker skin color from mine, and I just painted my nails because when I was growing up, my grandpa would paint my nails. I'm just really thankful for her and my grandpa for bringing us here and creating the life they did and all their hard work for us to live this life that we live now. I thought it would be really cool to honor them.
So my art piece is about my first birthday. my family was here, or actually my mom and my dad met in the United States, and this is my older sister, this is my mom, I'm the baby, this is my dad. My dad was actually in the military, getting trained in the United States, so he wasn't in Cambodia. My mom and my older sister were in refugee camps, so they met in the United States. This image with me here was not even my mom in the States for 2 years. They didn't really celebrate birthdays in Cambodia, so the fact that they're celebrating my first birthday in such like this grand manner is really meaningful. It was a wonderful opportunity because I got to look at my parents' face like, oh, you're crying. I got to really just pay attention to their faces and the joy on their faces and know like just 2 years prior their life was not happy. You know, so I'm just so grateful for this opportunity.
The purpose of this project was kind of twofold. I wanted people who aren't Cambodian to be educated about Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge genocide, the people who came to Long Beach from Cambodia and why they're here, and the traumas they dealt with, including the stress of coming to a new country. The other part of it is I wanted to present an opportunity for therapy and catharsis for them, because art has been a tremendous source of therapy for me. This project means so much to me to be able to give a voice to the Cambodian population in Long Beach, to share their stories. And judging by the feedback that I've gotten from the participants, it has meant the world to them to be given this opportunity to have their experiences validated through this art show. It's just been tremendous.
I think my most amazing experience has been working with the seniors, the elders, because they perhaps haven't really been able to kind of sit down and look at their past, but also to be able to share the knowledge that they have with them. And also when I've seen some of the younger people that are freely creating things too, it's really just inspiring to see that, you know, no wall is holding them down in terms of creativity.